الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون صدق الله العظيم. From ayat number 11 of Surat Baqarah. In the previous ayah or previous ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala began the discussion of the sifatul munafiqeen, or the attributes of the hypocrites. These attributes are such that in action one can see these attributes, but in reality they stem from the heart. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes one thing very clear in the previous ayat number 10. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. In their hearts, in the hearts of the munafiqeen or the hypocrites, there is a disease. فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He increased that disease. And what is the reasoning for increasing this disease? وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْذِبُونَ. On them will be a very, very painful punishment because of their denial of the truth, their lies, their cheating system. We may ask, what is this disease? How can one recognize this disease? All of the sicknesses and diseases that we human beings know, they have symptoms. From a symptom, we can narrow down what type of sickness, or an expert, a doctor, can narrow down what type of sickness someone may have. Sometimes multiple sicknesses may have similar symptoms. But when you take that one symptom and you find other symptoms around it, then you're able to narrow down the type of sickness or the type of disease someone may have. A simple cold or a flu or other sicknesses, they have their symptoms. Based on those symptoms, it becomes easy to diagnose a person, to find a way to help them or to cure them or to recommend some type of medicine. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He mentions this sickness or this disease in the heart, we may ask, what are the symptoms of this disease? If they have a sickness or a disease in the heart, what are some of the symptoms that we can recognize that someone may be a munafiq or a hypocrite? There's also one important fact that needs to be made very, very clear. Now, when it comes to hypocrisy, in general, there are two types of munafiq. In general, one is the munafiq who has that hypocrisy in the core of their heart. They have no iman, they have no belief, their hearts are corrupted. From that, they may sometimes even fake that they're doing righteous deeds. They may even show that they're doing very, very great a'mal and righteous deeds. This type of munafiq or hypocrite, their hypocrisy is deep within their heart. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that this type of person is a munafiq. For that type of munafiq, he'll play treachery, he'll cause mischief, he'll do various types of sins. And that is that type of munafiq that will face very, very severe punishment on the Day of Judgment. There's another type of munafiq who their nifaq or their hypocrisy is not deep in their heart. But they have some symptoms, they display some acts that may show or may seem like this person is a munafiq. This person is a hypocrite. It is a munafiq fil amal or bil a'mal. A munafiq in some of their actions, some of their deeds, the person has hypocrisy within them. Now this type of munafiq, he may have some symptoms, but his heart to some degree is still righteous, his heart is still pure. He even has iman, he may even be a believer. And because he doesn't have that deep hypocrisy within his heart, so there is a chance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive this person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will even change the life of this person. And that type of munafiq, he has some actions that seem like he's a hypocrite. Now these two types, the first type, at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it was clarified that this first type, who they are, who their leader is, amongst, or in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the Ra'isul Munafiqeen, or the leader of all the hypocrites, his name was Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, or Ibn Salul, he was famously known as. He was the head of the hypocrites, and there were some 300 munafiqeen or so at that time. Many of them were not known. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave their names and their descriptions to only one sahabi, Hazrat Hudhayfa radiyallahu anhu. He was a secret keeper, and he used to keep the secrets of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, so he was given their names. And those kind of munafiqeen, they're so deep in their nifaq that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even ordered Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that don't even stand on their qabr, don't even make salat, even the janazah was not to be done for them. Ibn Salul was after this case, and Ibn Salul passed away. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam sought forgiveness for him and even prayed salatul janazah. And Umar radiyallahu anhu, he even told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that, what are you doing? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that this type of munafiq, who is the deep in their heart, that nifaq and that hypocrisy is deep in their heart. The leader of them was Ibn Salul. Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu anhu, he told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that, what are you doing? You're praying salatul janazah on him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you in the Quran, استغفر لهم أو لا تستغفر لهم إن تستغفر لهم 70 مرة فلن يغفر الله لهم. That if you ask for forgiveness for them or you don't ask for forgiveness for them, and O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, even if you ask for their forgiveness 70 times, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive them. So why are you doing this? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam looked at Umar radiyallahu anhu and said that if I knew that if I asked the istighfar, if I asked for their forgiveness the 71st time, I would do istighfar 71 times for them. This is how much rahmah Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam he had in his heart. He was rahmatul lil alameen. Even though these were the very munafiqeen that spread rumors against him, spread rumors against his family, spread rumors against Aisha radiyallahu anha. They spread so much discord amongst the Muslims. They did so many things that almost destroyed some of the very beautiful qualities of the Sahaba, or even caused rifts and fights amongst the Sahaba. But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was rahmatul lil alameen. He prayed the janazah, he even buried him. And because of these actions and this rahmah, many of the munafiqeen that were open hypocrites, they even changed their life, they became sincere believers. So sometimes kindness and mercy and rahmah, it plays a very great role in changing someone. That was the wisdom behind why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam did that. But after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam prayed the salatul janazah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a hukum in Surat At-Tawbah, وَلَا تُصَلِّ عَلَىٰ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ مَاتَ أَبَدٍ وَلَا تَقُمْ عَلَىٰ قَبْرِهِ. That do not pray salah on any of them after this, the Salatul Janazah, and do not stand on their qabr. This was a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that he would pray the Salatul Janazah, and after the burial he would give some wa'az and nasiha. He would talk to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum to seek forgiveness for the mayyat, for the one who passed away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him very clearly in the Quran that after this do not pray the Salatul Janazah for any munafiq, and do not stand on his qabr. But this is the real munafiq, someone who is a very, very serious hypocrite. And no one knows that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not sent after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We don't have wahy. We don't know who's that type of munafiq, who's that type of hypocrite. So that hukum was for that munafiq, or that hypocrite who had that level of hypocrisy deep in their heart. There was no hope of them changing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes that case very, very clear. Their names were given to Hazrat Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. And Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu on various occasions tried to get those names out of Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. But Hudayfa radiallahu anhu, he said, no, there's a reason why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam trusted me with secrets. I won't even tell you. When Umar radiallahu anhu became Amirul Mu'mineen, he even passed an order, told him that give me those names. Hudayfa radiallahu anhu said, no. He said, I'm Amirul Mu'mineen. And he said, yes, but Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was far better than you. Then Umar radiallahu anhu said, okay, in my court, do I have any munafiq around me that's giving me counsel? Hudayfa radiallahu anhu looked at him and said, yes, you do. He said, who is it? He said, I'm not going to tell you. Umar radiallahu anhu was also very wise. So he took one or two out of his court and counsel. And then he looked at Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. He said, do I still have any munafiq? He said, no. You figured it out, But Umar radiallahu anhu used to watch. Anytime there was a time of janazah, so Umar radiallahu anhu used to look around and see if Hudayfa radiallahu anhu was there. If Hudayfa radiallahu anhu was not in the Salatul Janazah, so Umar radiallahu anhu used to excuse himself. He was very, very... now this is not for us. We don't have anyone that can do something like that. There's a second type of munafiq, there's a second type of hypocrite who may display some qualities of nifaq. They may display some qualities of hypocrisy. But it is not for us to judge that this person is munafiq or not. Yes, we can say he has some qualities of nifaq. He has some qualities of hypocrisy. But we do not know if this person is sincere or not. We are not allowed to judge. For example, someone who does not pray salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran regarding the munafiqeen or the hypocrites that وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالَى يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسِ وَلَا يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Amongst the many qualities of a munafiq or a hypocrite is that when they pray salah, they pray very lazy, يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسِ, just to show to the people. They're only praying for show off. And they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very little. They do not do the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But that does not mean that if we see somebody who does not pray salah and we point this person out, you're munafiq. No, we don't know. Maybe he does other good deeds we're not even doing. What do we know? Yes, we can say he has some acts. He's performing certain a'mal that a munafiq would perform. But that does not mean that he's in reality a munafiq. It is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to decide. He's the ultimate judge. So, this disease of nifaq, this disease of hypocrisy, it has two parts. The dangerous one is the disease in the heart. That nifaq, or that hypocrisy, that the disease is so deep it affects the heart. And the second type of nifaq is that nifaq, or that hypocrisy, that the disease only affects the a'mal of the person. It doesn't go deep. It doesn't go into the heart of the person. Yes, it affects them. You see it in their a'mal, but it doesn't go in their heart. We have no right to judge. We don't know. But regarding the munafiq, that the disease goes inside the heart, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about those qualities here in Surah Al-Baqarah. In the other surahs in the Quran, in Surah An-Nisa, in Surah At-Tawbah, and in many other surahs in the Quran, and in many other places, even Surah Al-Munafiqun, a whole surah is dedicated to the qualities of the munafiqeen. You'll find many of the qualities that are not necessarily related to the heart. They're not qualities that are necessarily affecting the aqeedah of the person. Yes, in the actions, that person may be a munafiq. And you find many of those actions mentioned in those surahs. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning in Surah Al-Baqarah the symptoms of that nifaq which affects the heart. What is the first symptom? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the first symptom here, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. That whenever they are told, don't cause mischief in the earth, they say, oh, we are reformers, we're just reforming. Ayat number 11, whenever they are told, they do not cause mischief in the earth, they say, oh, we are reformers, we are peacemakers, we are making peace. أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, understand one reality or one fact. إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ. These munafiqeen or hypocrites whose hypocrisy has gone deep in their hearts, they are the mischief makers. وَلَكِنْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. But they don't even realize it. Now come to this quality. What type of mischief? There's various types of mischief that can be caused. What type of mischief is mentioned here? This is that type of mischief that starts from doubting people, then from those doubts creating suspicions about people, and then from those suspicions spying on people, and from that spreading gossip and spreading slander or slandering people in the community. That is the type of mischief that is mentioned here. That type of mischief causes a rift in the community. It causes doubts in the community. And those doubts can become very, very dangerous. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us believers in the Quran that يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اجْتَنِبُوا كَثِيرًا مِنَ الظَّنِّ إِنَّ بَعْضَ الظَّنِّ إِثْمٌ وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. That all believers, stay away and protect yourself from excessive doubt. Don't doubt people. Always suspicious about people. Excessive suspicion. Don't have this habit of being very suspicious about everyone. Why? Because excessive suspicion, some of that suspicion is sinful. And which type of suspicion is sinful? وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. Don't spy on one another. That suspicion that will lead you to spying on someone. What is the inner life of the person? What is this person doing in his free time? What is this person doing in his, trying to cause some kind of rift, trying to cause some kind of discord, trying to find anything or something that can ruin someone. And many times it's not even justified. But shaitan, he has his way of working on someone, It is mentioned amongst the kings of the past. One of the kings, he had many ministers. And amongst his ministers, he had one minister that he trusted a lot. And this minister was very, very righteous and very, very wise. He had very deep wisdom. So the king naturally used to always refer to him and ask for his counsel more than the other ministers. So human nature, the other ministers became jealous. So they started following this minister, this wise minister. And they used to find that this minister, during the evening time, after Asr time, Asr or Maghrib time, he used to go to one room and close the door, And he used to stay there for quite a good time. And then he used to come out, And that was kind of like routine. So they started looking. They said, what could he be doing in that room? Shaitan, he said. One of them say, he must be plotting against the king. He must be thinking how to take the kingdom for himself. Coming up with various kinds of ideas, So one minister was saying one thing, the other one was saying suspicion started going. So these ministers came to the king and said, we think there's a plot to overthrow you. The king said, what do you mean? They said, this one minister that you like so much, we think he's plotting against you. The king said, really? This guy? He's so simple. Well, what makes you think he's plotting against you? He said, no, you don't know him, We know that at this time of day, every day, every single day, at this time, he goes into this room, locks the door, and we know he's plotting something, We have to go and check. So the king said, okay, no problem. We all go together. Let's go see what he's up to. So that time of day, after Asr or after Maghrib, when the minister went inside his room, he locked the door. So the king came with the whole council and military, and with his guards and everything. They came, and they knocked on the door. They broke down the door. They forcefully went in, and they found the minister. He was holding a white piece of cloth, and he was crying. The king said, What are you doing? The minister said, why did you disturb me? This is my free time. I'm minding my own business. They said, why are you locking the door? What is wrong with you? The minister, he said, okay, let me explain. Sit down. And he told the king, he said, before I became a minister, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me and put me in this position that I have today, I used to be a very poor person. And I was so poor, I only had, this was the only cloth that I used to own to cover myself. So he says, every day after the court, I come and I sit here and I remember the time when I had nothing. And this reminder of that time reminds me that be very just to the people. Just remember that time when you were so weak, you had no authority. And at that time when I had no authority, I was looking for someone to help me. So this reminds me of the weakness of the people that I have to judge. And that is why when I give you counsel, I'm able to give you counsel in the best way. Because in reality, I'm still connected to that time when I had nothing. And this really impressed the king. The king looked at the other minister. He said, you see, you people were the ones who made me, trespass on this poor man's personal time. But look at this lesson. This is what suspicion can do. We're suspicious of some people, but sometimes we don't even see the good behind what they're doing. We don't know what's in their hearts. We don't know the intentions of people. Never ever doubt someone. This is how the first thing it starts. From that doubt, it leads to gossip. Gossip leads to slander, and it leads to spreading in the society many, many various ideas against someone. And that can lead to the destruction of the honor of someone. So we have to be very, very careful. We should not let this suspicion go to that level. This is what the munafiqeen, they do. In a very, very fast way. They start suspecting, and from suspicion they go all the way to spying on the person and spreading gossip against them. And in reality, there is nothing. So you have to be, this is the first quality of the munafiqeen. That in their hearts, this disease is so deep, that just like they know they can't trust themselves, so they don't trust anyone else. One nature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is that as human beings, whenever we meet someone, we feel that that person is like us. So if you find a very kind and nice person, know that in reality this person by nature is very kind. That is why he thinks everyone else is like him. That is why they say good people are taken most advantage of. The people who are very good in life, if you listen to what kind of life they have, how many people have taken advantage of them and ripped them off. And they go through so much. Why? Because they trust everyone. They're trustworthy themselves, so they feel that everyone is trustworthy. And same applies to wicked people. The person himself is wicked. He can't even trust himself, so what makes you think he's going to trust someone else? He's always trying to find some way, and he always feels somebody's taking advantage of me. Even somebody extremely sincere to him, he says, no, this person, I know. But in reality, there's nothing there. So this is the heart of the wicked people, the munafiqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when they're told, لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, don't cause mischief in the earth. Stop spreading this gossip. Stop spying on people. Stop causing this discord. What do they say? إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. We're only trying to bring peace. We're trying to bring peace between this person and that person. We're trying to fix this person, help this person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ. These people are the real mischief makers. وَلَكِنْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They don't even realize it. A wicked person doesn't realize that they're wicked. It's the reality. A wicked person, they don't realize that they're wicked. Their a'mal or their actions are wicked. They think it's something normal. So this is the first quality of those munafiqeen, that their nifaq is deep in their hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from this evil quality. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغِ. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا، وفي القبر مونسا، وعلى الصراط نورا، وفي الجنة رفيقا، ومن النار سترا وحجابا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، الحمد لله رب العالمين.